Okay, we're at the last gua of the first floor. This is the wealth corner. This is one of my main goals that I had for feng shuiing my house, was a wealth corner. And it is last, and that's probably subconsciously on purpose. This, on every single floor of this house, is the problem corner for me. And that's the hardest part of my life that I'm having issues with. I've always been super successful, but when I started my 2 men's art shop with my sister, like 3 or 4 years ago, it has not done well. And I'm still doing it, but it hasn't made any money, and I'm determined to make it successful. So if you're in my shoes and you started something like this and it's not working and you're used to having things work, it can be very deflating, like I feel defeated, but I'm not giving up because that's just not my personality. I am determined to figure out how to make it work, and also learning a lot about business in the process. I've learned a lot about myself that I'm not good at, and I've learned a lot about myself that I really want to do versus what I don't want to do. So failures are not always bad things. I do consider myself a failure in this department right now, and it doesn't feel good to say that out loud, but I've considered this kind of a dialogue diary. I'm a very introverted, private person, so this is actually really good for me to get out there and talk about the things that I want to change, because it keeps me accountable, but also makes those things change because I'm showing them on video, and that's being super vulnerable. I understand now how my clients feel when I'm rummaging through their house and talking about all their goals and life wants. I encourage you all to do it, constantly challenging yourself in every single one of these areas in your life. So we started out with helpful people and travel, career, knowledge, children and creativity, health, family, marriage or love or relationships, fame, and wealth. The top 2 are love and relationships and wealth, and those are 2 of my goals, and the other one was helpful people and travel, because I moved out here to Colorado for adventure, and I got that. I've gotten all of it except for wealth, which I'm struggling with, but I want to show you some things that I've been thinking about of the reasons why it's probably not working. Over here is the sink. In this area, this is the wealth and prosperity corner. The area it covers is part of this bathroom, the sink portion of the kitchen, and then this whole room that I'll explain to you in a minute that is not part of the interior. What I mean is it's got a door on it, but it's like the outside. It's a confusing little room. They used it as a pantry back like 100 years ago, and you can't really store anything in there. I've recently brought everything out and cleaned all the walls because that's where I kept my puppy in the summer. So it looks a lot better than it did, and I think that's subconsciously me evolving to this feng shui exercise. Things in your life and feng shui, rooms in your life, if there's something going on, like someone stealing your health or your love or something that's going on, there's something going on in your house, and whether that's a subconscious thing or a science thing that's related to you and you're connecting the two, I have found just recently why maybe my wealth is being withheld from me. What I mean is, these old houses have mice, and I just recently discovered mice coming through this door, and I saw one just the other day. So I'm fixing this problem, and I've already laid traps last week. That could be one reason I'm not doing well in this area, is because they're literally coming in and stealing either food or whatever they're doing. So they're taking from me. This corner is being taken from. Another thing is 2 sinks are in this area, and in the Chinese culture, sinks represent wealth, and if they're leaking, that means your wealth is leaking. I always have the tap running for my cats. I know it's gross, they're on the counter, but sometimes I'll have the tap on just for fun for the cats to drink out of. I know that's really gross, and lately I've been having to turn the tap on just because it's so cold outside, just overnight. So that is another thing that could be stealing my wealth. And it's funny that the 2 out of the 3 sinks are in this corner. This is just the first floor too. The top floor and the basement are 2 areas that are very awkward as well. this area is the dishes. I have a hard time wanting to do the dishes and cleaning up this area. It's kind of a crowded little corner, and it's just something that I don't like doing anyway. So I have constantly evolved to clean the dishes immediately right after I use them so that they're out of the way, and I think that's helped. Cleaning out this room has helped. I've also put in a water feature, a little fountain, to create movement, and Christmas lights in there. So I'll show you that after this. So keeping conscious efforts of just keeping this area clean, going in and out of the door creates dirt. There's filth, you know, on the floor all the time. I've been scrubbing the floor lately. And also keeping this room, which is not air conditioned from the inside, and the powder room, which is freezing. They're both freezing, drafty rooms, and that's also creating this theft type of deal where, you know, it's just kind of stealing your heat. Anyway, having said all that, those are added things that are not helping this area and these solutions. I don't have any of these other problems in the other areas, so this has definitely been a struggle for me in this area, aka maybe why I chose to leave this as a last gua to deal with. The top floor, the second floor, is also a problem. It's my closet area, and it's the last thing I want to do is put up my clothes because it's just awkward and uncomfortable. I've already fixed it once in my previous videos. I never showed it, but keeping that area clean and clothes off the floor is really hard for me. It's just kind of claustrophobic and just a corner I don't really want to be in. And then I think the bathroom sink is also in that corner. So possibly all three sinks could be in this area. And then the basement is also in this corner. And in the corner that this area is in is very empty. It's awkward. It's right by the exterior door, which is super creepy. So I'll have to show you after I get to the second floor. I'll do the basement. But I'm thinking, in order to fix up these areas, just keeping these doors closed. Even the bottom, it's warped, so you have to pull the bottom into. Getting lots of flowers in the areas where it can soak up water, aka I just put that little flower up here. Keeping all the dishes up. I immediately wash them and put them up so that they're not just hanging out in the sink and the dishwasher. Putting up lights and fountains to just zhuzh the area and create movement. And then keeping the area warm because it's so drafty. These are all things that I'm going to continually have to work at. I was also thinking of maybe putting some crystals or some just reflective mirror type things outside of this door to create kind of an illusion of this is the end of the property, or this is the end of the house. It's not the inside, it's the outside, so it's inclusive in this area. And then just doing my best to keep that outside of that area as clean and as neat as possible.